Hi, everyone. It is good afternoon in California, and it is also close to good evening in North Carolina. I am so privileged. Born to Thrive is so happy that Dr. Taj Haynes and Mrs. Tracy Haynes said yes to me. A forward thinker, visionaries, authors, and their own business plus their own practice, entrepreneurship plus a conventional, traditional entrepreneurship here right in front of you. So, Born to Thrive is here actually to be able to encourage, to motivate entrepreneurship and to laser focus health coaches, transformational coaches, empowerment coaches. We forward think, gone are the days when we just do our traditional job or traditional business. I always say there is more to do with the power of artificial intelligence and reaching the world globally through, let's say, any kind of medium. We had a little bit of issue whether we are coming clear to you, but Starlink, AT&T, Verizon, Grok, ChatGPT, we have to capitalize those mediums and tools that can reach the world. If you think you can change the world for the better, I think it is the right time and age to be able to do more than what you are just giving to patients like a nurse like me, Dr. Practicing dentist, and Mrs. Haynes is also running a business on top of what they're doing and with their family. So this episode is a live interview and live coaching with intention of letting people shine, letting entrepreneurship shine. And maybe in one way or the other, one of you out there will get a breakthrough. The beginning of a powerful podcast series will tend to give those who are wanting to embrace entrepreneurship and coaching. It is a very powerful tool nowadays. Coaching is so just out there and we barely scratch the surface. So as a business owner for 4 years, a registered nurse for 37 years, and a life coach certified, I'm here to give you Dr. Haynes and Mrs. Tracy Haynes. I am so privileged. Let's give our purpose and transform the world one person at a time, two people at a time, or in global sense platform all over the world, be it in person or in Zoom or any kind of medium you can use. So our mission is to serve, to inspire, and to help make our world a more awakened and thriving place to live. So without further ado, Doc Haynes and Mrs. Tracy Haynes, thank you for coming over and let's do a podcast. Please introduce yourself. I already said he's a practicing dentist. He has his own practice. He's a University of Penn graduate. And Mrs. Tracy is a nutritarian holistic health coach. Thank you for gracing this Born to Thrive show. Thank you so much. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having us. We're a little tag team and we're a solid duo that just tight to the core. Dr. Taj Haynes, I've been in the medical field for about 20 years. You mentioned my education, but I think more importantly is that I am a parent and I have been through the ups and downs of obtaining health, and I have a quite unique frame of view from my position in a quote unquote medical system. And so that's what really inspired me to join my wife, Tracy, with this health coach vision that we have.
Yeah. um, as he said, I'm Tracy, and I'm a nutritarian health coach, and I was in the consulting space for a while, and I took time off to raise my children, and now I am a nutritarian coach helping people alongside my husband.
Yes, thank you for that great introduction. So, exactly, I know you're a practicing dentist and you have this business. And what exactly are you offering into the world that you think it could change our world? And why? Why? What is this accelerator program that you have invented, that you have, are sharing to the world other than your practice as a dentist, a practicing dentist?
Now, you want to tackle this or you want me to go for it?
You can go first.
Go for it. Yeah. So basically, we love our family. We came together with a sole purpose: God's number one, family number two. And so we took our separate lives and we united that way. And so overall, because how much we value and how much we have grown through our family, is that we really want to reach and help the high achieving parents who have kind of lost their energy, lost that fatigue, that low energy, and help them reclaim it back. That way they can have a healthy life, a family life that just thrives. And so when you think about what we're trying to offer, we're offering people a sense of hope that normalization of chasing that caffeine, chasing the energy drinks, the ups and downs, open the door at 2 p.m. and you're like, I can't get going. I got to crash. Can't wake up feeling refreshed. Those are all, that's not normal. Those are signs and signals that something is off in your body. If you think about a tree, if a tree loses energy, it dies. If a car runs out of gas, its energy source, it breaks down and doesn't go anywhere. So when you think about the simplest way our body works, energy is at its core. And if you don't produce the right energy, it's not good energy, you're going to have a whole host of different problems that can pop up. And so I see a lot in my seat as a dentist. I'm not an MD, but I'm a DMD. And I just see the brokenness of what our system, our medical system can offer people in terms of healing. And so when I see that and how wonderful she is she's the one kind of got me on board with my healing itself. It's really about allowing people to be themselves, them true selves, live with presence, purpose, and power within that family unit. That is so important.
Yes, agreed. I couldn't say better.
I like the way you say, actually, Dr. Haynes' wife has a coaching style of empathetic, grounding, and deep human, helping clients feel safe enough to change. So, ma'am, as a nutritarian, holistic health, and a family system guide alongside Dr. Haynes, what exactly, I know he said you first started it, and this to be able to guide our audience and those clientele that you have, as a mother, I know we do get burned out. We give so much to the family up to the extent that we forget how to reset that energy because we want to perfect everything. We want to be the best for our children. I raised 4 adult children. My older is old. I have grandchildren. So in this ecosystem and this energy reset ecosystem, please kind of expand it a little bit. I know it's about energy and health framework, but give it to the world what you can. The vision of yours stands very clear that we only have one mind, one body, and of course, one soul. But once the body gives up, that's it. You can't retro. So everything in healthcare is more like holistic and preventative. So I see your energy, your system, the energy reset ecology runs side to side with medical practice of being proactive and being preventative and then diving in. And how could you put that energy back? Because half of the time we don't have much. We just like zombies going through the grind. So please elaborate on the energy reset ecosystem that you're offering to the world. And I see it big and envision that it's going to be big. It is probably already big.
Yeah, I'll address the overall system standpoint, then I'll let her kind of talk about the main drains that we typically see. So when people have headaches, skin issues, or start getting into more like diabetes, heart disease, those things are the sequela of things that happened in the past, bad energy. And so a lot of times our medical system, what we do, we treat the symptoms, right? You talk about holistically speaking, we really focus on 6 core pillars. That's nutrition, mindfulness, movement, sleep, detox, and of course, definitely oral health. And the key is that we don't treat the symptoms, we treat the root cause, and we look at the body as systems. So you fix the system at its root cause, and then the system starts to go and pick up steam, it blossoms. It just blossoms versus, you get a dent and just drive along with the dent and you patch it up, right? And so then the main drain that we typically see is around nutrition and diet. And that's where she is so amazing.
It's what we live, right? A lot of times people always use the excuse, I don't have time, I don't like cooking, I don't like to spend time in the kitchen, I can't afford it. And so that's the first thing to go downhill is the nutrition. And even just simple acts of just drinking water, that also goes down because people do not like to drink water. It has no taste. So we see these deficiencies because people are not getting the nutrients they need. And that's why the energy goes down quickly. And my experience, I feel one way to get people energized, or even myself or our children, or even him, it was through food. And in the beginning, it was all hard, but over time, small little wins add up to big wins. And then he came on board, and he actually made the connection. Oh my goodness, what I put in my body made me feel alive. It made me feel good. It was just simple as that. And we work with people to help navigate that mind shift, right? That what you put in your mouth, what it starts on that fork on your plate, matters so much. And a lot of people don't make that connection. They just see food as, oh my goodness, that's something that tastes good, and I'm going to put it in my mouth.
Yes, totally agree. As the kids went to college, I always tell them, how we hover over what they eat when they were not away from home. But I correlated, like a lot of kids go into depression, goes into imbalance. Yes. I call it imbalance because they're not nutritionally giving themselves the food that they're used to. And then I always say, you know what? I think, being a nice dinner person, I think there is some imbalances with the way they eat, because they eat fast food. And I always tell them, take your vitamins. It's scary when they go through that mode where they want to be high achieving, and then they're not eating. And then they go to an imbalance. They get burned out. And then they realize a very intellectual kid goes into something that is emotionally affecting them to perform, which is, I truly agree with you, Mrs. Haynes. And we as a mother, as burned out mom, we also like take it for granted, when to eat and what kind of food. We just eat because we eat. But at my age now, like, you eat when you want to eat. It's not so much like, okay, eat. Who invented 3 times a day of eating? There's no such thing. It's us that put that in that plate. Although I was reading about the Amazon, like, they don't eat 3 times a day. They eat because they have to eat and they're hungry, and they do come from natural sources, But anyways, I truly believe in that. And that is something the world needs, because as parents, you get scared when the kids leave home. They have to eat the right food. They have to find ways to energize themselves other than drinking those drinks that they said in Germany. They were taking them, and kids are having palpitations and all that.
Yes. And then ER, because they're drinking and relying on that for their fuel source. But they're not, even if they rely on that for the fuel source and it gives them that boost, they're still so deficient, and they don't realize, they're not making the connection how it's affecting their mood, how it's affecting their outlook, how it's affecting the day-to-day activities at work. Even as parents, if you're not eating properly or fueling yourself properly, you cannot even be present for your children, present for your spouse or your partner. So it's very important. I feel eating a nutritional sound food is the cornerstone to everything.
Absolutely. Healthy gut is very important. So that answered my first and second question, Doc. The most important is the problem you're solving, which you laid it out. Of course, the number 2 is the lasting difference that you can give to this program. But you think this is a long-term program that can fix problem, or is it just like a temporary fix to be in the Energy Reset Accelerator Framework? Will this kind of make a difference in people's lives for good, or the compliance? How do you feel you follow up with compliance?
Yeah, it's definitely, this is a long-term lasting solution. And it's not even a solution, it's a way of life, it's a lifestyle. It's not Band-Aids. If you have a high cholesterol, we're not giving you a statin drug and saying that you're good. But you realize the importance of cholesterol in your body, but you're able to manage it through the proper way of eating and your lifestyle. And so it's simple, lasting lifestyle habits that you have to be able to adapt. It's really not for anybody who's wants to get quick fix, who wants a silver bullet, and are not willing to embrace simple lifestyle changes. It's like you said, you mentioned things are really simple. It really is simple. If you provide the body with the right nutrients and you put it in the right environment, it's going to take care of you and it will thrive. It really is that simple.
Yes, absolutely. So another question, Doc and Mrs. Haynes. So how does this program connect with your overall objectives in life? We are working, we have our business, we thank God, we're doing well, but life is not just about money.
Yeah.
And
You're
a
right.
lot of the times is when you have everything is like there's more dissatisfaction in life. As I am and Born to Thrive, it's more like finding clarity from a burnout professionals or highly functional entrepreneurs, leaders, CEOs, and anybody to, find time to self-love again, to self-care, self-respect, and rediscover ourselves to be able to thrive and do well in our lives. But that is just like probably more like a emotional thing, but through it's incorporated as being health coaches to tackle what is really the core of our health. It's nutrition. So mind, heart, body, and soul. So the next question is, what is behind your health coaching goals?
Yeah.
I'm sure you have children and I'm sure you run your own business. You want to be the best of yourself. What is really that health coaching goals that you have that you want to make a lasting impact, not just right now and into the world?
So like the driving force behind everything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when I grew up, my father was not in the household. I wanted to always be married and be a father to children. So I did the right thing, right? I went to college, got my degree. I was a consultant. Then I said, you know what? This is working 16-hour days. It's not going to be right for me. So I became a dentist to have more time. Went through dental school. Tracy said yes to me, got married, have Olivia, my oldest, Alexia, my youngest. And let me tell you, I was living the dream, doctor included, right? Then all of a sudden, overnight, it seemed like I was 80 pounds overweight. I'm lethargic. I'm taking naps before bedtime, passing out. I'm trying to play with the kids. I'm falling asleep. I realized I was starting to crack. And it all came to a head about 8 years ago now. Playing in the pool, trying to keep my kids were jumping in. So I go to run and I jump into the pool and I couldn't jump in the air anymore. My body said, you're not getting in the air. And I sliced my toe on the cement, big old gash and a pool of blood. And I was sitting there strictly in pain, but I was more embarrassed than anything else because I realized I couldn't keep up with my kids. The knife really twisted, and I was about early 40s then. I just turned 50 this year. It really twisted the fact that a good buddy of mine had a brother in the beginning of the year pass away from a heart attack in his 40s.
Early 40s.
Early 40s. And the exact same year, I don't know, sometime later on, the other brother died of a heart attack. Two of my friends gone in the same year, and that's a wake-up call. I didn't want to go down that path because I wanted to realize my dream. I want to see my grandkids. And so that's where I realized no one's coming to save me. My prestigious medical degree is not helping me. I got to learn more about what's health really mean? What does health really mean? And so I dove deep, learned all these different modalities, finally realized her wisdom she'd been speaking over the years was so true. And so I stopped being a hard-headed husband. We came up and started working together, and we realized the power of what we're doing and what it meant, not just for our own selves. We got to be 100% to give 100% to our kids, but how much we can totally invest ourselves into our kids, enjoy them, enjoy their activities, and not feel like I got to go home and go to sleep and just not be there. I want to be present. I just want to be present. And so now the whole mission behind what we want to do, yeah, it goes way beyond money. It's really trying to help as many of these parents as possible to have that same experience. And it's almost like you have to be selfish to get yourself right, healthy wise. That way you can be selfless and be the best parent you can be, the longest you can live, and just truly thrive. And that's really kind of the overall driver that behind our goals of why we're doing what we're doing.
Yes, and we want to lead by examples for our children to emulate that, especially when it comes to our diet and lifestyle. I would like for them to thrive in this world as well and not go down the path that you almost went down, right? I would like, so that's one of the things that we live this lifestyle too. We don't just talk, we live it day in and day out. And that's why we help parents who are on that path and want to be present and want to teach their children how to eat properly and how to live a full life. So this way they can be successful, not only financially, but career-wise, or even just family-wise, spiritually, all different aspects of your life. So you can be present and live a good, happy, fulfilled life.
You're giving me a goosebump. You found your niche, and there's so many family that is waiting to get you heard. And any businesses, even if I know you must have done a lot of studies and connected with a lot of speakers like us, your story is going to be the guiding force of success in this business. As all of us speaks the story. I was a burnout nurse, and it came from within. So keep sharing that niche because there's so many.
Awesome.
What obstacle have you run into the past years in your business as health coaches and sharing this wonderful opportunity to just not, change lifestyle, change health, change mind, change time freedom. And alongside doing this will be, next thing you know, really financial freedom and time with your family. There's no such thing. We're going to go into your book. There's no such thing as having everything that you need, but you don't have time to spend with your family. And half of your time as a nurse, I've practiced 37 years, although I was a hands-on mom. I wish I could be there every sports, but I can't. And so what are the obstacles, or maybe in your mind, that you have run into running this new health coaching business?
Two things come to mind. It's making that shift in belief systems. And then we've been, because that takes time to get people to understand that, no, that energy drink is not the solution, right? Or just going to pop a pill is not the solution. Even if you think it's an herb, it's not the solution, right? I think for me, that's one of the obstacles we faced, and spending the time trying to, I don't want to say the word educate, but trying to talk to people to help them understand that it is a little time consuming, which we have to make sure we manage our time appropriately. And I feel like you're really good at that. He's really good at the time management. I'm not bad, but I want to help. I just want to help everybody. So.
You are enjoying life, Mrs. Haynes. That's what you call it. But this is just an added bonus. But in that sense, you are really touching the world. And eventually, we give the value first. And next thing you know, you're making a lot of difference in millions of people's lives. As we are so happy we have this social media marketing. A lot of people gets like cringe and, shiver sharing them stuff in the media, but everybody's doing it. So, Doc, thank you so much. As I've said, we are all here. We've served We've inspired, we've helped a lot of people close to our community, but I think it's time to make this more than just your community, because there's so many people waiting out there to be heard and to know what you're offering. And truly enough, mind, heart, body, and soul, and physical is very important. We only have one body. So Doc, can you invite them please to this energy reset framework that you're giving to the world? And I truly appreciate both of you, Mrs. Hayes, for just being here and giving me this opportunity to let us all shine in this world. Thank you, Doc. Please share again your health coaching opportunity and your business.
Absolutely. Yeah. So so here's a cool thing about everything. That is our kind of core program. But here's what we do. You can find me on Facebook or drtajhaynes.com. We offer a reset, almost like a challenge for 5 days. That is where I'll work with you for free for 5 days, and we go through my 5C energy formula, where we're going to do some calibration, we're going to make some commitments, we're going to have some courage, we're going to have some confidence, and we're going to celebrate. And we're going to get some quick wins to get the snowball rolling. And at that point in time, it'd be a great time for me to kind of evaluate to see if if we're a good match, and you can see if you were a good match, and then we can always talk about getting into that accelerator program where we talk about system-based simple lifestyle changes and improvements to really thrive. So that's how you can find me, definitely on Facebook or at drtajhaynes.com.
Wow, thank you very much. One more question, or one more actually laser focus on the book. There was a quote on why you wrote the book. So please share that book with us, and the name and the title behind that book. Thank you so much. I know you have 2 girls.
Yes. Okay. So it's called The Man's Manifesto, and it's how to be a man in the world full of pansies. And so that's all intentional, because one day at our dinner table, our dinner table is the core. We make a focus on sitting at the table, no distractions whatsoever, no phones, no tablets, no TV on. We sit and talk and ask questions. So one day, about 2 years ago, my daughter says, "Hey, Dad, how come boys are not finding interest in me?" And I said, "Well, I went on a long spill. They're just not, they can't know how to talk to women these days, or girls these days. They're kind of pansies, like we said back in the day." And said, "Well," and after my little speech to him, said, "Dad, you should write a book." I'm like, "I'm not a writer. I'm an engineer and doctor. I'm not a book, and I'm not an author." No, Dad. And Alexia, the young one, "Yeah, Dad, write a book." And so really what it comes down to is they offered me a challenge, and being that I want to be that guiding light, that North Star, I wanted to get out of my comfort zone, start doing something which they saw in me. And so it really inspired me to write this book, which is a love letter to my daughters, which talks about how, from a man's perspective, should lead and take care of his family from all different pillars. And that essentially, we didn't know at the time when I wrote it, but that is going to be kind of our foundational as we develop more and more programs where we have retreats and parents, and really on how to teach, train, transition, and trust your kids into the world, our framework. So yeah, that's what got me going, with the challenge of my girls.
Oh, congratulations. It's ahead. Actually, you jump way forward. You know how the Born to Thrive has like a plan from 1 to 3 months, 18 months, and then eventually doing mastermind and writing book. Well, you had your book and you had your thing. So let's all go out in the world. And as I've said, 1 person at a time, 2 people at a time, global sense, or in group of coaching. Thank you so much. I appreciate both of you. And I am so privileged to have you join me. And let's get rocking. Thank you so much, Coach.
Yeah, it was fun.
Coach, Dr. This is Dr. Ty, right? This is what you and Mrs. Haynes, Tracy Haynes. Thank you so much. God bless everybody. And I hope you found an inspiration through Born to Thrive and Dr. Ty Haynes and Mrs. Tracy in this empowering way of taking care of yourself. Let's get you out from burnt out to breakthrough. God bless everybody. Till next time. Thank you so much.